All right, so let's move across our border to Mozambique, where counting is well underway after the general election, with first results expected in tomorrow. There had been concerns of violence between former civil war foes RENAMO and the ruling FRELIMO party. Observers feared a recently signed peace deal could be at risk. The polling stations closed yesterday without major incident, except for the north of the country, where 7 stations didn't even open amid fears of militant attacks. FRELIMO's president Filipe Nyusi is expected to return to power, although opposition parties have accused the government of vote tampering already. To discuss, we're joined by our reporter on the ground, Siphephile Kunene. Siphephile, thank you for being with us. So you've been in Maputo. What are our people in the main city there hoping for?
People in the main city are hoping for peace in Mozambique. They want employment. They want the government that is in place to stop looking out for itself and those that are close to it. They want corruption ended altogether. They also want an environment where they can get employment in their own country, where they don't have to leave the country so as to be able to earn a living. Mozambicans want a better infrastructure. They want proper roads. They want schools. They want hospitals. They want a sound health system. They want everything that has to do with a 45-year-old democratic country. They are concerned about the fact that this is the 6th time they are voting, but nothing much changes. Even though there's a bit of growth in terms of the economy of the country right now, but they are concerned that it doesn't trickle down to the people on the ground. Take, for example, people in rural areas are affected the most. When you look at what's happening in the north, it's mostly people in the rural areas that are fighting for resources that have attacked these residents that have left their places, where 7 voting stations were not even open because the country's economic landscape is not balanced. Those that are rich are very rich, those that are poor are very poor. People on the ground in Maputo want that to change. They want the gap closed. Francis?
All right, so you're alluding to some of the many problems. Poverty has dominated, political instability. There was even a violent run-up to the elections yesterday. And of course, Mozambique also recovering from 2 cyclones earlier this year. Have you seen any signs of that? Is this a country still trying to get on its feet?
Oh, in Maputo, there isn't much of those effects. It's mostly in Beira, where Jonathan, our other colleague, is. And here in Maputo, mostly it's the economic part that people are concerned about. And talking about the violence that erupted towards this election that took place yesterday, the observer missions are concerned about that. They are calling on the government to make sure that the law takes in its place. Those that have to be prosecuted should be prosecuted. More so because there wasn't even a bit of respect. They went to the extent of killing a local observer that was in Shai just a few days before the election. And to make matters worse, it's alleged that he was killed by police officials that are from the state. They're supposed to uphold the rule of law, and everyone's supposed to look up to them. Coming to the results, because today it's the counting of results. It started last night, and as soon as voting finished, counting started. We visited a few places yesterday where the counting was taking place. We also visited the same places today. We could see that most of the results were pasted on walls to ensure that people that are local that went to vote there can see which party is leading. In this case, it's FRELIMO, followed by RENAMO. Back to you, Frances.
All right, thank you very much. The SABC's Siphephile Kunene. And yes, FRELIMO expected to win. RENAMO saying there's been vote tampering. We'll see if they accept the results that are expected out tomorrow.